Hello, we are Adriana Barrios, Nicolás Vellés, Nuria Tubella, and me, Alicia Beck. And we are here to present our case study on the failed implementation of the just-in-time system in the Sony Ericsson company. This case study aims to assess the situation, decisions, and factors that led to the failure of the implementation of the JIT system in the company Sony Ericsson Group, and the measures that could have been taken to either prevent or manage said failure. By doing this research, we can have a clear and simple recording of the ways in which the JIT system can fail and their corresponding solutions. This will help current and future companies and that want to implement it but fear the possible misstep.
We will now take a look at some of the history of the company in question, Ericsson. The company was founded in 1876 by Lars Magnus Ericsson. It started as a small telegraph repair shop, but thanks to Ericsson's great vision, when he saw the great potential of telephones in 1878, he focused entirely on them. By the 1896, the company had 500 employees and produced more than 100,000 telephones. These are the origins of the company, but how has it developed to the present day? By the beginnings in the 2000s, the company had become one of the leading suppliers of telephones. And today is a totally innovative company which develops projects such as 5G, cloud solution, data-driven operation, and the Internet of Things. One of the big questions may be, what has been the strategy followed by this company to position itself where is it now? Well, one of the reasons is due to the just-in-time method. This is explained more in the paper, but to put in a nutshell, just-in-time is a management strategy that aligns raw materials orders from suppliers directly with production schedules. This organizes this basically based on the making of the right number of units to sell and having no warehouse. Some of the advantages it presents this method can be the cost-efficient production, continuous quality improvement, waste elimination, improved storage space, and the more control the manufacturer has regarding the production of the products demanded. But like everything, it also has its disadvantages, and some of them are the ones shown in the presentation. Possible delays, lack of supplies, switch on control, and a great complexity of it, as every worker must participate in order to keep the efficiency. Moreover, and most important, as it's a disadvantage that affected Ericsson, the possibility of being an uncontrollable accident, just as fire. Now, my colleague will explain it in more details.
The problem of Ericsson came in March 2000, when its sole supplier of chips for its cell phones had to stop the production line. A lightning bolt struck at Philips Electronics in Albuquerque's production plant and caused a fire. This meant a lot of complications for the company, which was not prepared for the disaster, so it had a lot of trouble handling the situation. The just-in-time method does not allow for the storage of materials, resulting in no stock, so Ericsson was unable to continue with the production line and could not cope with the demand. And all sales that should have been occurred during the recovery period caused by the failure were lost. The problem mainly lies in the fact that the more the just-in-time system is applied in the production of the company, the more risk it runs, since the absence of the stock makes it more vulnerable in case of production stoppage and gives less margin for error. Our research is divided in three parts: finding of the investigation, interpretation and discussion, and results of alternatives. After the accident in Albuquerque, the executives at Ericsson received the notifications from the manager of Philips, but they didn't think that it was a huge problem. So the manager of the mobile phones division did not get involved in the problem until 1 month after it had started. In the following month, after the incident, Ericsson reported some information about the company related to the delay of Philips delivery. In 2000, Ericsson announced losses in the second quarter of $200 million on the mobile phone division. The annual earnings were predicted to decrease between 333 and 445 million. 6 months later, they reported a 3% decrease on the market share and the need to fire thousands of people. And Ericsson also had to give control of some of its factory to Flextronics. Their brand had to partner with Sony in October 2001. It took them 3 years to recover, so Ericsson got back to health in 2004. However, some of the financial information of 2004 compared to 2000 shows that the revenues of the company had decreased by 52%, the total asset had fallen by 30%, and the number of employees had been reduced by half. The only indicators that had maintained more or less the same levels were their net income and operating income.
The results of our findings showed us the importance of a quick response and the need of having a plan if anything in the supply chain fails. Ericsson did not respond quickly to the problem with the delivering of their chips. Clearly, the slow reaction from Ericsson damaged the company and gave a huge advantage to Nokia. Ericsson lost time of production, causing a decrease in sales in a booming market. The Finnish brand will end up being the dominators of the mobile phone market for the years after the fire. The decision to create a joint venture with Sony was due to the poor conditions of the company. Ericsson needed to partner with Sony to reduce the damage and probably to not disappear. There were many ways to prevent or to react against this. For example, the best way would have been to have many alternative options of temporary suppliers and distribution channels. The use of a CPFR, which is a collaborative planning, forecasting, and replenishment that could have been done with a simple supply chain management software. Ericsson could have used also any type of other technologies to monitor the chips they needed so that they could be aware if any problems happen in the supply chain and have a fast reaction. And to solve the problem, because of not having any preventive response, they could have communicated a delay in the supply to its customers because buyers would understand the issue as it occurred due to climate conditions and as it is an issue external to the supply chain. Or they could have found within days a temporary supplier to help them achieve the needed production with the materials. This solution would be more costly, but the cost of damaging the supply chain could be higher. And the best solution we could think about is what their competition, Nokia, executed, buying the reserved chips Philips had, changing the configuration of their products so that they could manufacture the phones with other chips and searching for temporary suppliers so that their chain of supply wouldn't be damaged.
Thanks to extensive research, we now are aware of one of the main disadvantages of the JIT system, the lack of some kind of backup or extra stock made for management to have little room for solving problems caused by the accident. Still, we can clearly see how it could have been easily prevented if not for the failure of Jan Warby and his team in foreseeing these issues that so clearly affected the whole company's production line. That, along with the fact that they didn't have a previously made plan for this kind of situation. Another of the key factors that led to the failed implementation and ultimate downfall of the Ericsson company would be the way they managed the accident. The people in charge failed to provide a timely solution, and so in the end, the company had to unite in a joint venture with Sony, after it took them 3 years to recover from that situation. We have also exemplified an array of approaches the company could have taken to prevent the failure. They should have had alternative options of supply using different distribution channels. They could have also made use of the CPFR or have the technology to monitor their supply chains and have a faster reaction. This case study has now successfully detailed the events of the Sony Ericsson's occurrence and given many options for its prevention and management. Thank you for your attention.